Hi friends, Allie here. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to crochet these wreath, tree, and holly appliques. These patterns are part of a crochet advent calendar series I've been working on. If you're not familiar with the series, then check out my advent calendar playlist here on my YouTube channel, or head over to my website, theturtletrunk.com, where it has all the info and all of the free crochet patterns to make an advent calendar. But even if you're not making the advent calendar, you can still make these appliques and use them for whatever you'd like. You can sew them onto projects or add a hanging loop and use them as decorations. Now, if you're ready to get started, let's head over to our supply list and let's get making. For these patterns, you'll need medium 4-weight yarn. You'll need about 13 yards of green, 3 yards of red, and 1 yard of brown. You also need a 3.75 millimeter or F crochet hook, scissors, and a yarn needle. We are going to start with our wreath with our green yarn. We're going to put a slip knot on our hook and chain 10. Then we're going to join to the very first chain with a slip stitch to create a loop, then chain 1, and then working inside of that loop, we are going to work 14 single crochets. So working straight through the loop around the chain, we're going to work a total of 14 single crochets around. I want to apologize for this pattern. My hands are very low on the screen. It will get better when we move on to the other appliques, so I hope you can see what I'm doing okay. When you've reached the end of round 1, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet of the round and chain 1. So you should have a total of 14 single crochets around. For round 2, we're going to single crochet into the first stitch, and then into the second stitch, we're going to double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and we're going to repeat those 2 steps all the way around. So single crochet into the next stitch, then double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch. At the end of round 2, you should have a total of 28 stitches around. That's including the chain 1 stitch between the double crochets as stitches. We're going to join to the first stitch with a slip stitch, and then you can tie off your green yarn and weave in your ends on the back. And then we're going to grab 6 inches of red yarn, and we're going to use that to make a bow. So I have a little bit of red yarn and my yarn needle, and I'm just going to thread that through the bottom, working between rounds 1 and 2. So you want the tail ends of your yarn to be poking out on the front, and then I'm just going to tie up a little bow, and then you can cut off any excess yarn. And there we have our little wreath applique. Now we're going to make the tree starting with our green yarn. Start with a slip knot on your hook and chain 7. Now working in the third chain from the hook, we are going to work a double crochet, then half double crochet in each of the next 2 chains, single crochet in each of the next 2 chains, and then in the last chain, we are going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Now we're on the opposite side of the foundation chain. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 chains, half double crochet in the next 2 chains, then double crochet in the last chain. You should have a total of 14 stitches around. That's including the chain 2 at the top of the tree. For row 2, we're going to single crochet in each of the first 6 stitches. Then in that chain 2 space, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Then we're going to single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. At the end of row 2, you should have a total of 16 stitches. We're going to chain 1 and turn. For row 3, we are going to single crochet in each of the first 7 stitches. Then into the chain 2 space, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the last 7 stitches. Should now have a stitch count of 18. Now we're going to be working across the bottom of our tree. So I'm going to chain 2, and then starting into that same stitch we worked our last single crochet, I'm going to evenly work 7 single crochets across the bottom of the tree. So I worked 1 in that last single crochet, and then I'm going to work 1 into the edge of the row before, and just continue all the way across for a total of 7 single crochets. And then after working our last single crochet right into the corner there, I'm going to tie off my yarn, and then I'm going to grab my brown yarn and we will attach it to the bottom of the tree to create our trunk. So I'm going to join to the 3rd single crochet that we worked across the bottom. So I'm just going to insert my hook into that 3rd single crochet stitch and then grab my brown yarn, put a slip knot on my hook and just pull that through. Then I'm going to chain 1 and then single crochet into that same stitch and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Then chain 1 and turn. And then we're just going to single crochet into those 3 stitches across. Then you can tie off your yarn and weave in all of your ends on the back. And then there is our little tree applique. Now we're on to the holly. We're going to make 2 leaves. So I'm going to go through it once and then you can make another one on your own. With our green yarn, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook and chain 9. Then we're going to single crochet into the 2nd chain from the hook. then single crochet into the next chain, chain 2, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet back down into the next foundation chain. And we're going to repeat those last 2 steps for a total of 3 times. So single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet into the next foundation chain. We'll do that one more time. Single crochet into the next chain, then chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet in the next foundation chain. Now we have 1 foundation chain left. In that chain, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet again. Now working on the opposite side of the foundation chain, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. So we're going to single crochet into the next chain, chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet into the next foundation chain. And we're going to repeat that all the way down until 1 last chain remains, and we'll slip stitch into that last chain. I'm just coming up to the last few stitches, so I only have 1 foundation chain left, so I'm going to slip stitch in that last foundation chain, and then I'm going to cut off my yarn and weave in the ends on the back, and then I'm going to go make a second leaf, and then I'll catch back up with you and we'll make the berries together. So here I have 2 leaves. I'm going to set those aside for now and I make the berries. So with my red yarn, I'm going to make a magic circle and chain 1. Then working inside of the circle, we're going to work 5 single crochets. Then you can take the short tail end of the yarn and pull it tight to close up that hole in the center. And then we're going to join to the top of the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and then you can tie off your yarn. I'm going to cut my yarn leaving about a 6 to 10 inch long tail, long enough that I can use it to sew the berries to leaves. So you need to make a total of 3 berries. Once you have all 3 berries and 2 leaves, we're going to put them together. So I'm going to sew the 2 leaves together like so, just working across the top of them. And then I'm going to sew 3 berries on top of that, with 1 at the top and then 2 below it. So just sew all of the pieces together, and then we're done with our Holly Appliqué. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to check out my website or the playlist here on my YouTube channel for the rest of the Advent Calendar tutorials. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.